Hi, this is Cosby, and I'm new on YouTube, and I would love to get people to join me on my journey. So, we're going to be talking about how I navigated my life after divorce, more like after separation. Yeah, after separation and divorce. All right. Okay, so as a Nigerian lady living in Nigeria and an African lady, usually the things that go through the minds of the African lady is that marriage is the ultimate. Like when you finish your university, the first thing you should do is get married. And my hope was to get married before I was 30, and I was just 20, about 29 or thereabout. 20, I was in my 20s, late 20s when I met this person. Okay, so um after the divorce or the day he said it's over and he was leaving, I was happy because I married a narcissist. And if you have married a narcissist, you will understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so mm, in that situation, it was a bit dicey. Yeah, I was joyful, but the first thing that came to me was confusion because how do I now navigate the new me? Because for the years I I did my life. My life was all about Mrs. This. So my reputation was on Mrs. This. So now that I wasn't going to be Mrs. This, what do I now do with my life? So that is where the problem, started from. Like, what do I do? Because now this man is the kind of person who was like immediately after he was like, drop my name. I don't want anybody to call you by my name. So for those of you who change your name, governmentally, this is what you're going to face. So all the while I was called this, and because he kept for every call, for every reason, he would stalk me on Facebook, stalk me on every social media platform, just to tell me to get his name out of my name, you know. And I was a bit confused how I was going to navigate the new me. And apart from that, being married centered, my only goal was to be married and raise good children. In fact, that was my number one goal. And then you're also taught to that your husband's goals are your goals. So I didn't bother to even have goals for myself, but I knew what I wanted to do. That is be in the IT field, even though that is not what I studied. That's a story for another day. Okay, so I looked for someone who was in that sphere, and I got into a relationship with him. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. And not that it didn't work out. I married a narcissist, which made life terrible. And let me tell you why I was happy. Being married to a narcissist, you are stuck in one place. It keeps going. You don't even at the point where he was leaving, right? If he wasn't going to, if he didn't do it, I was going to do it. And in fact, he preempted me because he was bugging my phone. And so he knew that I was going to do it. So because of that, he went ahead to do it first. And I was like, yeah, this is good. I love it. Well, how do I go from here? So I wasn't even prepared. So that was another challenge. And from then on, it had I began to live my life daily per minute, and that is how I navigated that first few days. It was a roller coaster of emotions. I am happy. I'm out of the circle, and then how to move on from there was another challenge. Anyway, this is God's will, and I'm hoping to make new friends on here. Because when you separate, right, when you have a divorce, the first things that go are your friends. You would lose friends, especially in the African setting, because you are told that you're not supposed to have friends that are not married or friends who have divorced, so that the bug doesn't so that the person doesn't infect you with their own issues and why their marriage failed. So yeah, so I'm hoping to make friends on here. And yes, this is my first video, so please forgive me if I'm rambling, if I'm not coherent, and I do not have you know something. This is out of my throat. Please forgive me, and do have a lovely day. Bye. Ciao.